Can fasting cause an eating disorder? That's what we're going to dive into in this video. Let's get into it. Hey, what's up? My name is Schuyler. I'm the founder of Reach Fat Loss and Fitness, where our goal is to help you lose fat, build muscle, and do it as sustainably and as effectively as possible. Every video I put out is geared to help you do just that. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. Putting out new videos every single week, and I would love to have you as part of the community. So, can fasting cause an eating disorder? Well, the direct answer is yes. It can. But the truth is, so can any other diet. If you are actively restricting yourself, if you are actively saying no to things, it can cause the feeling of restriction, which can create a cycle of an eating disorder. Now, does that mean it needs to? Absolutely not. Just like any other diet, it can be done effectively, it can be done sustainably, and it can be done in a way that's healthy. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about how to avoid that when you're using fasting. But the main point here is if you are putting yourself in a state of restriction and you do not handle restriction well, it can lead to something unhealthy. So we want to figure out how to use fasting without feeling restricted. So today I'm going to go over 4 different ways to do that. Number 1, this is an extremely important concept, and it's a small mental shift you can make, is that while you are fasting, it is never that you can't eat food. We're adults here. It's that we are choosing not to eat food. Just like everything else in your life, this is a choice, and if it comes from the place of actively choosing to use your willpower to say no to food, as opposed to feeling like you have to, there's going to be a big difference in how you feel while you're fasting. Number 2, fasting is for your health. It is for the health of your body. It is not a punishment. Where a lot of people go wrong with fasting is if they've had a weekend where they've indulged a little bit and they want to hop into a fast. The difference of using it as a tool to allow your body space to become healthier, to cleanse, as opposed to using it as a punishment is massive. Fasting should never, ever be a punishment response. It should never be something that you do because you were bad or because you messed up. It should always be a choice to hop into it because you want your body to be healthier. And so it's a very small tweak. You can still do the same amount of fasting, but it's how you feel hopping into it. Before we get into number 3 and 4, I'd love if you could leave me a comment. Have you fasted before? If so, what's your experience been like? The third strategy I use while fasting to make sure it maintains a healthy routine is to allow for flexibility. I speak to a lot of people who do intermittent fasting and then end up falling off, and I typically understand that the reason it's not sustainable for them is because they feel like they have to stop eating at 8 p.m. at night, they can't start eating until 12 p.m. the next day, and they have to do it 7 days a week. But the beauty of this is that fasting actually allows for flexibility. Because it's a choice, because you can time and you can switch up how long, what time you do your fast. If you have someone coming into town and they want to eat something, be flexible enough to not fast at that time. If you know a wedding or a party or an event is coming up during the weekend, be okay with fasting before, be okay with fasting after, but choose to eat during those times. Where fasting can become an issue is if you put yourself into this extremely strict and extremely rigid routine that takes you out of enjoying a lot of these special moments in life. And the truth is, it doesn't even have to be special. If you, for a couple weeks, skip breakfast and you're really feeling like going to a new breakfast spot, or you just want to treat yourself, allow yourself the flexibility to do that. So that's number 3. And number 4 is whenever you're fasting, make sure you're listening to your body. The goal of fasting is not to just white knuckle your way through it, to be miserable the whole time, and to just do it at all costs. Whenever someone joins my program, I tell them our goal is I don't want you super hungry all the time, I don't want you super tired all the time, or super grumpy all the time. I want you feeling good during your fast. And so if you're doing a fast and you have a headache, or you're super tired or grumpy, there is a reason why. And the goal isn't to just white knuckle your way through it. The goal is to use strategies to make it easier. I'll tell you, 99% of issues you feel, whether it's feeling too heavy, feeling headache, feeling fatigue, can come from more healthy water and more electrolytes. But if not that, take a look at the meal you had before you hopped into your fast. Take a look at potential spices, potential other strategies you can use to make the fast easier. This does not have to be miserable. This does not have to be something where you just push through it at all costs. The goal of fasting is to feel good. And if you have that mental shift where you are choosing not to eat instead of not being allowed to eat, you are understanding that during your fast, you are cleaning out your body. It is a healthy thing. It is not a punishment. You allow for flexibility with your routine, and you pay attention to when you don't feel good, and you do what's necessary to change it. Fasting can be an extremely healthy routine part of your life. I don't need to lose weight, and I choose to fast at least 24 hours once a week just to keep that discipline up because of how good I feel. But if I had a lot of weight to lose, I would use fasting extremely effectively. It's what we do with our clients in our fat loss program, and they're able to get results like these, which speak for themselves. So if you are looking for help with fasting, you're looking for guidance, understanding how to do it more efficiently, check the beginner's fasting guide in the description of this video. You can also check there's going to be a video with a training and an access link to my calendar if you want to apply to work together and to learn what that would look like. But otherwise, I highly suggest including fasting in your routine. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. And of course, as always, make sure to eat smart, move more, sleep deep, and be grateful for this moment. I'll see you in the next video.